They didn't just release an album, they detonated a cultural bomb. The Doors didn't knock politely on rock's front door. They kicked it off the hinges, lit a match, and rewrote the rules. Welcome to Album of the Week, where we dig into the records that shook the world. No fluff, no filler, just the stories behind the music. This week, it's The Doors, the debut album that turned a Venice Beach bar band into the dark poets of rock. Released January 4th, 1967, right as the summer of love was warming up, this wasn't peace and flowers. This was fire and shadow. Picture the scene. America's youth is tuning in, turning on, and dropping out. Psychedelia is blooming, but the Doors, they weren't about rainbows. They were about the storm. This album gave us Break On Through to the Other Side, a manifesto in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. It gave us Light My Fire, a 7-minute inferno that burned up the charts and made organ solos sexy. And then there's The End, a 12-minute odyssey that sounded like the apocalypse set to music. Why was it revolutionary? Because it was dangerous. While other bands sang about holding hands, Jim Morrison sang about Oedipus. While others chased pop hits, the Doors chased transcendence and sometimes madness. The Doors were 4 guys with nothing to lose. Jim Morrison, the Lizard King himself, poet, provocateur, walking chaos theory. Ray Manzarek, the keyboard wizard who made that Vox Continental sound like a cathedral on acid. Robbie Krieger, the quiet assassin on guitar, sliding between flamenco and blues like it was nothing. And John Densmore, the jazz-trained drummer who gave rock a heartbeat that could swing. Recording at Sunset Sound in Los Angeles, they cut most of the album live. Raw, electric, no safety net. Fun fact, Morrison was so broke he was living on a friend's couch during sessions. Another fun fact, Light My Fire almost didn't make the album because it was too long. The label begged for a radio edit and boom, instant hit. Here's where it gets juicy. The album cover, that moody photo almost didn't happen because Morrison hated photo shoots. Break On Through originally had the lyric "She gets high" repeated, but the label censored it. Listen close and you can still hear Jim whispering it like a rebel. And The End? Morrison recorded that in near darkness, lying on the studio floor, channeling something primal. Some engineers swore the room felt haunted. Chart success? The Doors hit number 2 on the Billboard 200 and stayed there for weeks. Light My Fire went number 1 and turned Morrison into a reluctant sex symbol overnight. Why does it still matter? Because this album cracked open rock's skull and let the poetry spill out. It inspired generations. From punk poets to goth dreamers to every kid who ever scribbled lyrics in a notebook and thought, what if music could mean more? Without the Doors, there's no Patti Smith, no Joy Division, no Pearl Jam brooding in the 90s. This record didn't just soundtrack an era, it haunted it. And it still does. So, what's your favorite track? The hypnotic swirl of Light My Fire, the eerie descent of The End. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your stories. And if you crave more tales like this, grab the Rock and Roll Almanac, the ultimate guide to the albums that changed everything. hit subscribe, smash that bell, and keep the volume loud. Because here, rock isn't history, it's alive.